Liam Forrest from City College Brighton Hove from the AASE Boxing Academy, who attended the recent Erasmus Plus mobility project in Tenerife in conjunction with the FU Academy Tenerife, and we just want to find out a little bit more about their experiences and how it's benefited them as individuals and as athletes.
Also being able to also work with different age groups, because the older lot were more interested into actually learning the boxing, and the younger kids just they wanted to do more practical and playing games and having more fun. So we tried to make the boxing more fun for the little kids, and then made it more boxing specific for the older lot. Mentally, having to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, running by 6. It's got me more mentally prepared and physically for my cardiovascular.
Okay, so that's as an athlete. So what about as a person? Do you feel you've kind of grown and developed as a person with the experiences that you've had over there?
I feel more like sort of responsible for myself, taking more care of my own body, like having to warm up, stretch before you actually do the runs, because before I didn't really know much about it, I normally just ran, and now I learn more about the body a lot more, having to prevent more injuries and all that stuff.
Okay, Eve?
Like obviously all the discipline behind it has kind of brought me on as a person, and meeting new people, like all the new experiences, has really helped me kind of develop.
Has the fact that we went into Spanish schools out there and we're coaching Spanish children, how has that impacted on your career aspirations in terms of perhaps coaching?
Yeah, obviously it's made me realise I'm actually quite a confident coach, and I quite enjoyed it, to be honest, the challenge of it. And obviously it was quite a challenge because they didn't speak English, so you had to kind of adapt to their language and find ways around it. After Mount Toady, I brought some some bananas with me for some simple sugar straight after, just to replace the glucose. And then within about 20 minutes, I had
throughout the run you bought a packet of sweets, didn't you?
So I had simple sugar to keep me energized.
Okay.
And then obviously after the run, I tried to get it as soon as I could, so it was probably about 20 minutes, half an hour, which was a little bit more than I wanted to. But I had a high protein meal at the canteen at the hotel, just lots of meat and also just recovery foods to help speed up the.
And what about the night before in terms of?
Carb up loads of pasta and that. Make sure you time the eating right, otherwise you'll get stitched good 2 hours before.
Mentally, having to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, running by 6. It's got me more mentally prepared and physically.
As an athlete, so what about as a person? Do you feel you've kind of grown and developed as a person with the experiences that you've had over there?
I feel more like sort of responsible for myself, taking more care of my own body, like having to warm up, stretch before you actually do the runs, because before I didn't really know much about it, I normally just ran, and now I learn more about the body a lot more, having to prevent more injuries and all that stuff.
Okay, Eve?
Like obviously all the discipline behind it has kind of brought me on as a person, and meeting new people, like all the new experiences, has really helped me kind of develop.
And any of you thinking about maybe actually taking Spanish forward a little bit more and learning some more?
Yeah, for the future, whenever I go on holiday or ever go to Spain again, it'd be handy to use a lot of Spanish.
Okay, and you, Ed?
Yeah, definitely. It's the language I want to use because obviously it's quite like a commonly used language in different countries. So yeah, I definitely want to visit Spain again. So it'd be good to learn.
Okay. So during the actual lessons when you were learning Spanish, how do you feel like the teachers at the FU engaged you and challenged you?
Just with kind of games that had you kind of thinking on your feet and having to really like think and use your brain to use Spanish words to read.
Okay, can you give me any examples, guys, of some of the sort of games they did or activities they did?
Yeah, so we played like bingo, and he'd only read. He made sure he only read out the number kind of like 3 times, and he wouldn't repeat it. So you had to think about the number.
And we had to obviously answer the number in Spanish.
Yeah.
So it got us thinking a lot more.
Okay, and so would you recommend other people to use the FU Academy who want to go abroad? And
Yes, definitely.
and okay, so how did you find them maybe different to other sort of teaching that you've had before?
It's a lot different to other teaching because they also made it a lot more fun. So obviously we played games to help us learn Spanish, and it was
Quite engaging.
a lot more helpful for when we were going to coach in the schools.
And what were you actually expecting when you first walked into the classrooms to learn Spanish? Were you expecting it to be how it was?
I was expecting like a school type setting. I thought it'd be more kind of sit down, given work to do, but it was really like engaging, and that's how I prefer learning. I find that easy.
Okay, fantastic. So firstly, just to ask you a closed question, would you recommend this Erasmus Mobility Camp to future boxers that want to come on ACE?
Yeah, definitely. It's a great experience.
So can you tell me a little bit more why, and why would you recommend it?
Well, I'd recommend it to other boxers because if they want to go on to coaching other people in the future to teach them boxing, and you get all these different people that will come to the gym with different languages, it's good to have a different language to teach.
Okay, Eid,
Yeah,
how would you recommend them?
just a great experience, really. Obviously, it's not something you do in your everyday kind of life. It's kind of creates memories and defines you, just betters you as a person, really.
Okay, guys.
It felt a lot different, obviously being in a different environment and meeting new people and just being out in general is a lot different to being in England.
Can you give us an example, Liam, of how you managed your finances? I mean, how much did you take out there, if I can ask?
I'd say it took around about 140, 150 pounds.
Okay, so call that 200 euros. So how did you manage that?
Well, I sort of kept a budget of spending a certain amount a day.
How do you reckon psychologically that can actually help you with your boxing when you return back to England?
Because it's a big thing that we know we're capable now. We know we're capable of things like that.
So these are the kind of things the guys were scaling today. So pretty outstanding. What an experience for